Dealt out 4 touchdowns in the 28-22 win over the Patriots. The Rams have won 4 of their past 5 games since starting the season 1-4. They have won 3 out of their 4 since getting Kupp and Nakua back from injuries in Week 8. Meanwhile, Geno Smith's 13-yard scramble for a touchdown with 12 seconds remaining in the game gave the Seahawks their second win in 7 games as they beat the Niners 20-17. All right, whole team's back. S.A., I want to kick things off with you. Are the Niners in danger of missing the playoffs?
I don't really think so. I think they'll manage to be good enough to get in. I just think their window, as I said weeks ago when everybody was jumping on me, I just think their window is closed. You knock on the door, knock on the door, knock on the door. Over the last 5 years, they've been to 4 NFC championship games, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and haven't walked away with a ring. And I'm just of the mindset that, football is a highly volatile, very physical sport. And ultimately, attrition kicks in, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And at some point in time, you just don't have it anymore compared to what you used to have. And that's how I look at the San Francisco 49ers, not to the point where they're not going to make the postseason, particularly if Christian McCaffrey remains in the lineup, along with Deebo, Kittles, and Brock Purdy. But, you just look at them right now. Defense is good. We don't talk about their defense in the same fashion that we used to. Offensively, they're good. We don't talk about them in the same fashion that we used to. Just the allure, the mystique has worn off to some degree. And I'm of the mindset that they've missed their opportunity. I think Detroit is on another level. I think Philadelphia is on another level. And I just don't view the San Francisco 49ers in the same fashion that I used to.
Stephen, I think they are in danger of missing the playoffs because you look at it, it looks like they're going to get 3 teams out of the NFC North. It looks like Green Bay, Minnesota, and Detroit is going to come out of that division. It looks like Philly's going to win the NFC East. The Commanders are right there, has an outside chance. You're only getting 1 team out of the South. You're getting only 1 team out of the West. And right now, Arizona, you could possibly. So basically, it's going to probably come down between them, the Commanders, the Rams, and Seattle. So basically, you got 1 team, and you got 1 spot and 4 teams vying for it. Their defense is not what it once was. It doesn't look like the defense that was under Robert Saleh or Steve Wilks. Let's just say that. They don't have the consistency because you mentioned Deebo's been out of the lineup, Juwan Jennings been out of the lineup, McCaffrey just got back. And so, it's not looking good for them. You look at what they got. They got at Packers, at Bills, Bears, Rams. Rams not going to be Dolphins are playing much better. You get the Lions at home. Man, no, I don't know, Steve. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say yes. They're very much in danger of missing the playoffs. And I think there's a greater chance that they miss the playoffs than actually squeak in.
Listen, they're in last place. They've already lost 3 divisional games. They've lost to the Seahawks, they've lost to the Cardinals, and they've lost to the Rams already. And they still got to play all those teams again. And when you look at the San Francisco 49ers, Stephen, you already touched upon it. Defensively, they don't play like this San Francisco 49ers defense that we've been accustomed to seeing in the past. All the injuries that they've had on the offensive side it's really showing up in these games. And so here's what I see with the San Francisco 49ers. This team has been playing deep into the postseason every year. They've knocked on the door multiple times. And Shannon, you know this. When you knock on that door and you don't kick it through, it comes back to bite you. Mm-hmm. Because all those games, they add up over time. And I think that's what's happening with the 49ers. It's caught up with them, okay? Through the battle of attrition, injuries, just start trying to keep up with that style of play. I think it's caught up with the 49ers, and I think other teams in that division, quite honestly, I think it's better than this team.
Well, listen, I'm not going to go that far. They've had some injuries. We all know that. And losing Brandon Aiyuk certainly doesn't help their cause. So in favor of what Shannon was saying, I can understand how them looking in danger. And, you got 3 teams in the division that are 5-5 and one team that's just 1 game ahead of them. Here's the stat that I would like to throw out to both of you, Woody and Shannon. I'm looking at these numbers on Kyle Shanahan. When the San Francisco 49ers scored 30 or more under Shanahan, their record is 46-4. When scoring 17 points or less, do you know what their record is under Kyle Shanahan? 5-31.
500.
5-31. 5-31. I mean, that's pretty damn bad. And so I think that, you know what, you've got to be more effective, more efficient offensively. I got to believe that with McCaffrey, with Deebo, with Kittle, with Brock Purdy, with Shanahan calling the plays, that they'll find a way to make amends for some of the doldrums we've been witnessing over these first 11 games of the season. I just have to believe that. I just don't have to believe it to a point where I think that they're going to be a legitimate threat to come out the NFC. I don't believe that anymore, but I still think they have a chance to win the division.
All right, I'm going to keep it rolling.
You know what
here.
that tells me, Stephen A., the stat that you gave me when they scored 30 points or more, it tells me they're built to play with the lead. It tells me that their pass rush is able to get home and you can make them one-dimensional. And when they don't, when you have to play both sides of the ball, you got to play the run and you got to play the pass, it makes it a lot more difficult to do for Bosa and Floyd and all those other guys that they've had in the past to go attack the quarterback. So that's what that tells me. But they're not the strong. Their back end is not nearly as good as it once was. They can still get home. Bosa did leave that game. He re-aggravated his hip injury. And from the time that he left the game, Seattle started having a lot more success in the passing game. And so that's what that tells me, Stephen A. But offensively, yeah, they're struggling right now because they can put a drive together, but they're not finishing those drives.
All right, got to leave it there. Shannon, speaking of one-dimensional, thanks for teeing me up. Mike Tyson came out of retirement and lost to Jake Paul. What did we think of the fight? It's our turn to throw the punches next. The Cowboys have been a train wreck all season. Do they have a chance to pull off the...
This is Coach Herm Edwards and Damian Woody back with us on the program. All right, so D-Dub, let's set some stuff straight here. The Ravens lead the league in penalties. They have the worst pass defense in the league. And sometimes they forget that they have the best running back in the league by way of yards in Derrick Henry at times. Are these flaws simply too much to overcome?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You can't have penalties because you kill drives and you kill your opportunities to go out there and score. And if you're in a passing league, if you have the worst passing defense, that's not going to give you many opportunities. Sure. And oh, by the way, we've seen this script before with Todd Monken forgetting about the running game. And when you go out and get Derrick Henry, how can you forget that 250-pound beast in the backfield? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. He only had 13 carries yesterday. Think about that. Derrick Henry, one of the best backs in our league, only had 13 carries yesterday. Unbelievable.
Yeah, D. Wood makes a lot of great points. And when you look at the Ravens, they lost by 2 points.
Sure.
But when you're the head coach, this is what you're telling your football team. You know, the Ravens right now are playing against the Ravens.
Yeah.
They had 12 fouls yesterday. They've got 92 for the season now. They missed 2 field goals, and they turned the ball over 3 times, and they lose on the road to a division opponent, the Pittsburgh Steelers, by 2.
Yep.
So it's fixable. But you got to fix yourself.
Sure.
And the Ravens play against the Ravens now. It's not the opponent anymore. We got to fix ourselves.
Seems like it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They lead the league in total yardage, 2 steps back. They also lead the league in penalties and yardage against themselves. So that being said, and those numbers being broken down, D-Dub, who is the best team in the AFC?
It's the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
And, you know, when you watch the Buffalo Bills play, obviously Josh Allen, we clearly got, you know, between him and Lamar Jackson, and actually I throw Jared Goff in there too, MVP race. Josh Allen's been phenomenal. The physicality in which they play with on both sides of the ball, their ability to run the football. Josh Allen's been taking care of the football this season. That's been one of the highlights for me when you talk about the Buffalo Bills and defensively, they've been outstanding. So, right now, you have to say the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC.
100%. I agree with D. Wood. I mean, he is exactly right. You know, it's the eyeball test. It's not about the statistics. If you just watch a team play and you go, wow, these guys are pretty. Look,
we said that a lot last night.
Here's what I understand.
Yeah.
They played Houston, and they turned the ball over 5 times.
Yeah.
And I said, this game should be a blowout. That was not the case. Not only was it not a blowout, they won.
Yep.
They won.
Winning
that is
despite
very
that.
difficult to do.
For sure.
And they can beat you a lot of different ways. They're a talented football team, too. They're not just tough.
Sure.
They're talented.
Yeah, they're 9-2 now as well for the first time since 1992. You remember what happened at the end of that season? They made it to the Super Bowl, but a lot of Western New York is watching right now, so that's all I'm going to say. Herm, D-Dub, standing by. Randy, what you got?
All right, I got another AFC playoff contender in action.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn tô tượng, và tượng hôm nay của mình sẽ là kỳ đà. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nha. Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn tô tượng, và tượng hôm nay của mình sẽ là kỳ nhông. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nha. Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn tô tượng, và tượng hôm nay của mình sẽ là tắc kè. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nhé. Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn tô tượng, và tượng hôm nay của mình sẽ là tắc kè hoa. Bây giờ mình bắt đầu nha. Đầu tiên là mình tô màu xanh nha mọi người. Mọi người ơi, mình tô màu xanh nha. Màu xanh của mình này mọi người màu xanh của mình nha. Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục với màu đỏ. Mọi người ơi, mình sẽ tiếp tục với màu đỏ nha. Anh đâu rồi Việt ơi.
Rồi, với cả cái thanh hồn của mình được hợp lý ấy. Rồi. Ra phải nó cả cho. Rồi. Mất cái người thì rồi nó cũng đã rồi. Đây, rồi mình sẽ tắt ra.
Màu đỏ này mọi người ở đây màu đỏ nha. Giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục. Phần mũ trên cũng là màu đỏ luôn. Phần mũ trên là màu đỏ nha mọi người.
Không phải các bạn một phút luôn. Mình chưa sáng không?
Màu đỏ này mọi người ở đây màu đỏ nha. Bây giờ mình tô nha mọi người ơi, mình tô màu xanh đầu tiên nha.
Trên đầu trên nhà. Với video rồi.
Nốt video này là giải nào rồi anh? Giờ sẽ tô màu đỏ nha mọi người màu đỏ nha.
Quá thật quá 2 tiếng vậy video. Bây giờ suy tích tên thôi.
2 tiếng 7 video.
Rồi, anh đi lấy trên cam đi.
Mày cứ 2 tiếng 7 video là mày sớm bị đuổi đấy. Mấy lúc làm đàng hoàng đi. Mọi người ơi, màu đỏ này mọi người. Phần trên cũng là màu đỏ luôn nha, mọi người, phần trên là màu đỏ luôn nha.
Ngán đùa 2 cái năm mà tôi so trận 200 này.
Mọi người, màu đỏ ở đây nha, màu đỏ ở đây nha mọi người. Bây giờ sẽ tiếp tục là màu xanh nha, màu xanh nha mọi người.
Rồi.
Đây nha mọi người. Các bạn ơi, tượng của mình hoàn thành rồi này. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Nếu các bạn thích cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nhá. Mọi người, đây là tượng của mình đã hoàn thành. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Các bạn, đây là tượng của mình đã hoàn thành. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nha. Mọi người, đây là tượng của mình đã hoàn thành. Video của mình đến đây là kết thúc. Nếu các bạn thích thì cho mình xin một like và chia sẻ và đăng ký kênh nhé.
25 ạ này.
Đừng sang tát cái rồi đang chào khán giả nói như kiểu nói to.
Không, người ta làm gì? Cứ gọi là thẳng vào ngủ.